Welcome to the video poster presentation for Conflu. The title for my talk is Transient Helix Formation in Semi-Flexible Polymers. As the title indicates, we obtain helices for a semi-flexible polymer. These helices emerge spontaneously due to long-range repulsive interactions between the monomers. There have been previous reports where helical structures have been shown using torsional potentials or due to compression or confinement, but we do not have torsional potentials or confinement. Our helical structures emerge for freestanding polymer chains due to radially symmetric long-range repulsive interactions. Note that our helical structures are not equilibrium structures. They are transient, but their lifetimes can be manipulated and increased. This movie will illustrate the formation of helices. So one could see that the helix formation took place. I'll just gently rotate it for a better viewing experience. There have been previous reports where helices have been shown for polymer chains under compression or due to confinement, but our polymer chain actually stretches out, but in the process of stretching out it forms a dynamical helical structure. I'll briefly describe the model. We use the bead spring polymer model where any two adjacent monomers are bound by the harmonic spring potential. There's a three-body interaction which imparts a semi-flexibility to the chain, which is given by epsilon b cos theta. As the schematic here shows, any three monomers along the chain describes an angle theta. The energy term, which is given by epsilon b cos theta, penalizes the presence of these sharp angles. Additionally, we use the repulsive interaction term, which could either be a Coulomb repulsion in one case or a power law repulsive interaction. We show that for both of these generic repulsive interactions, we obtain helices. So the helix formation proceeds via four stages, as was seen in the movie itself. So in the figure A, one sees the initial conformation of the helix uh, of the polymer chain. In figure B, one can see the kinked structure of the polymer chain, which emerges shortly after the initial conformation. These uh, these kinks arise due to repulsive interactions as well as due to thermal fluctuations. The polymer chain then evolves in time to form a helical conformation, as can be seen in figure C. And as shown in figure D, these structures evolve in time and the pitch gradually increases before dissolving away, as can be seen in figure D. So we use two measures to quantify helicity. These are H4 and H2. These help us to distinguish helices from non-helices. For a stiff polymer chain, we can show that if in thermal equilibrium, it can be made to assume a transient helical conformation. So in figure A, one can see the end-to-end distance plotted as a function of time. The end-to-end distance reaches an equilibrium value around 300 tau. We use this information for figure B, where we switch on repulsive interactions at around 330 tau and see that H2 shows a spike which gradually dissipates away, indicating that a transient helix formation occurred. So we do not always obtain these helices. Only in a narrow range of our simulation parameters do we obtain helices. These simulation parameters are the strength of the repulsive interactions, which are the two y-axis labels in the two state diagrams given by epsilon c and epsilon d. And the other simulation parameter of interest is epsilon b, which is the x-axis label of the two diagrams. This epsilon b is the parameter which imparts semi-flexibility to the chain, and it is directly proportional to the persistence length. Thank you. I'd be happy to discuss more and in greater detail during Conflu. Alternatively, one may also refer to a paper which was published by the Journal of Physics Condensed Matter. Thank you.